Alright, so this part's pretty simple, self-explanatory. You just pull off front wheels using your T-tool, install the cloud wheels. I mean, it's nothing really scientific about it. Be careful not to lose your washers, because then you have to buy some new ones if you don't have some lying around. Alright, so now that we got the front on, we're going to install the rear donuts on the hubs. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to align the new hardware with the hole on the back part of the hub motor. It took me a couple times, but you can see if you do this. I'm doing it without the hubcap installed first. And I'm going to show you why here in just a second. Alright, if you look on the back side, you can see when the hardware comes through all the way, so you know that it's engaged and the wheel is set right. So then what I do is I put one screw in the hub cap, and then I get that one started, and then I pull out the first screw that I used to align the donut and put it back in with the hubcap in the right place. And then you just tighten them all up, star pattern like normal. Don't over torque them. Take your time. But I'm going to show you something that's different about these versus the original wheels. On the original wheels, the hub sits flush like it does right here on the 96 wheels. On the donut, you're going to see in just a second, they sit really deep. See how much deeper they are? Because the donut wheel is wider. So you're going to have to use a little extra oomph getting the screws in, but if you do it in a pattern, you won't strip them. They'll go in smooth. Look on the back side and use that as your frame of reference. As soon as you see that the screw bottoms out or is flush with that plate on the back side, that's when you need to stop. Don't try to force it all the way through so the screw is sticking out. The screw should sit flush on the back side. Here's a better view of how much deeper the donuts sits than the 96 millimeter wheels. Just take your time. It's pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you got any questions on how to do it, just send me a message. I'll see if I can help you out. So I ordered the cloud wheels and the cloud wheel donuts for my G3, and when I went to go take it for test drive, the battery was only at 20%, and I just thought maybe I forgot to charge it. So when I tried to plug it in the charger, no joy. Same thing happened to my brother. His battery died. So there's something wrong with the battery. It wouldn't take a charge even when I used a different charger. So I ordered a G3 Plus battery, because if you're going to spend the money, go big. So when I get the G3 Plus battery, we can put that on. But to do the test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the battery off the Zealot. I'm going to put it on the G3 and do a road test. And also I ordered a composite deck for the Zealot. So when that comes in, I'm going to swap this deck to the G3 and the composite deck to the Zealot. And I haven't decided yet where I'm going to put the G3 Plus battery. But stay tuned for that coming out soon. All right, so we are doing a road test of my Backfire G3 with the new cloud wheel donuts. I'm using my Zealot battery because, as you saw just before this, that the battery on my G3 died. It happens, batteries die. So no big deal. I'm running this with the Zealot battery right now, and we're going to do a road test. I'm using the Relive app to show you my route, and we're going to do the exact same route on the G3 first, and then go back home, swap the battery back to the Zealot. We're going to do the same route on the Zealot. It's about 45 degrees in the afternoon and no rain, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison of comfort.
Yeah, know I'm sturdy like a Millie Rocket. Skin clear, still look young, Andy Miller knockers. Money in my pocket, don't call me a money pocket. Engine get to rocket, it sound like a thunder rocket. Yeah, I still love my baby even when it's toxic. Crazy like she Britney, but no, she don't shade the knock. Russell Wilson way I get low and stay in the pocket. I get paid and do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah, I can't do no time, don't leave that gun around. In my teens, we were acting up and running around. Now we're grown, still get to it if it's necessary. On the ground from January to January. Never met nobody who retired when they were young. So I guess I gotta get it to the cemetery. Getting paid just for rapping is fun. I lit up around a month in every February. Told them side, no electric. It's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah. It's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Couple in one in my head just to say they did it. Can't lie, I'm so paranoid and the windows tinted. I own everything around me, you can say it's rented. Not talking phone numbers when I'm talking 7 digits. Earn it by the day, every second minute. Used to pay me none, look, now they pay attention. Everybody say they drip, but I banded it. See them copy all the looks, but I stay switching. Pick up the loot, then hit the bank. Can't never change, still wrote the change. Captain say the pay, this ain't the day. They made me wait, I'm breaking chains. Tell me feeling bubbly out the rose. Took a minute, but I got it out the slow way. Friends turn to foes, haters tell them go away. Rappers making shiggy dance like a soul train. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777.
Actually forgot to start recording. So this is part 2 of the test. This is Backfire Zealot on its original toggles, which are a lot more used than obviously the brand new ones on the G3. And we're going to do the exact same route I did on the G3, no different. The same mileage, speed's really not going to matter because we're not doing a range test, we're just doing a comfort test. I can already tell the difference, but I'll save that for the end when I give you the breakdown between the two. All right.
Driving on the road like I'm the only one. Shooting to the green, I talk a hole in one. Bible on the dash, they with the holy wine. I know I put in work, they didn't notice none. Switch gears, clubhouse, took me 6 years, marble floors, gold trim, feel like I'm Richie Rich, Italian left, French suede, I mix the fist sick, quick loss, take a risk, we play for the win, might spend $1 million at the rug store like Manafort, but making purchases you can't afford, I move the money like it's illegal, something more of rigor mortis, where I move dead people lay low, took L's, know how those days go, say so, he say, but nothing ain't no pesos, deals locked, it's like a case closed, bankroll, different league, we don't use money phones. Trusting the artist, his hands steady for it. Pray up to the Lord, he knows I'm ready for it. All on the earnest, you know I'm heading towards. Eyes on the Rolex, it's like a Chevy Ford. Driving on the road like I'm the only one. Shooting to the green, I talk a holy wine. Bible on the dash, they with the holy wine. I know I put in work, they didn't notice none. Switch gears, clubhouse, took me 6 years, marble floors, gold trim, feel like I'm Richie Rich, Italian left, French suede, I mix the fist sick, quick laws, take a risk, we play for the win. Chips all on the board, know I'm invested. Italian blazer, come double-breasted. Loafers in Florence, we paid for it. Through every battle I was tested, now I'm vetted, talking top floors. Luck sweet, see dreams are not yours, got mine. Going global, it's like a world tour. Kids straight, savings growing, this what we work for. Wifey great, love flowing, we don't need Cupid stupid. Nova bring the bass and watch them screw face. Spit to the pressure, give me toothaches. You play checkers, I chess them to see who moves fake. I want that Bruce Wayne money, no time for Two-Face. Old friends doubted me, I cut the loose ends. Real friends around me, the whole cruise in came from pain driven and hot temper to calculated passing on my mentors. Driving on the road like I'm the only one. Shooting to the green, I talk a hole in one. Bible on the dash, they with the holy wine. I know I put in work, they didn't notice none. Switch gears, clubhouse, took me 6 years. Marble floors, gold trim, feel like I'm Richie Rich, Italian leather. French suede, I mix the fifth, sick, quick loss. Take a risk, we play for the win.
Everybody, so I just want to let you know what I thought of the G3 with the cloud wheel donuts compared to the Zealot with the cloud wheels. And Leo's here to help explain it. So, what did we think? It's boring. That's what Leo thinks. Okay. All right, get out of here. You're not helping. So, initial impressions. The G3, let's compare apples to apples first. G3 is transformed. It is so much more comfortable. And you already know, if you have a G3, it is a super smooth board. It's very quiet. It's fast. It does everything really well. The Zealot, I can't say enough good things about the Zealot. It just, some people don't like the noise. I love the noise. I love that turbine whines sound that it makes when you accelerate. People hear you coming. I love the comfort on the thing, and it has a little bit better range than the G3. Now, the one thing I couldn't do was test the G3 with its original battery because it died. It developed a bad cell or whatever reason. I don't know yet. So we used the same battery, the Zealot battery. We used it for both the G3 and the Zealot, and the range was pretty close. It was about the same. There are 3 differences between the Zealot and the G3. 3, and they are torque, and torque. Oh my God! When you go up a hill on a Zealot, or you power on the accelerator, the torque is just it's smooth, it's hard, it's what you expect. When I went up the hill with the G3, it was smooth but severely lacking of torque, and I think that is a result of the cloud wheels. Compared to the original street wheels, yes, you lose a little braking on the Zealot, but very little. On the G3 compared to the original wheels, very noticeable difference. Not more than just a little. I wouldn't say half, but you definitely notice a difference in braking, which is no big deal, because once you figure that out after your first few times you brake, you adjust and you brake properly. And after that, I didn't have any issues. I mean, I noticed the brake difference immediately and adjusted when I applied the brake. So I applied it sooner, within the first quarter mile or whatever, and after that it was fine. It rode perfect, and when I applied the brake, it braked like I expected. I think what changes is your expectation of when it's going to brake and when, or how hard it's going to brake. So cloud wheels on the G3, no more noticeable brake difference, and definite loss of torque when you go uphill. I actually had to, when I was riding the G3 uphill on a couple of steeper hills, I actually had to put it in turbo mode to go up the hill. I think because I put it in turbo mode, I might have used a little bit more battery than I did on the Zealot, because I never put the Zealot on turbo mode, ever. I just put it in, it was in sport mode the entire time. So I think that might have been the only slight battery difference, and even then, the battery difference was minute. It was tiny. I did 7.5 miles with the Zealot battery, and I had just under half a battery. So with the Zealot battery on the G3, theoretically speaking, in cold weather, it was 45 degrees or colder, you could get probably 14, 15 miles, maybe a little more if you're a lighter rider. In warm weather, probably even more than that. So I think I've decided we're gonna keep the Zealot battery on the G3. Actually, we're gonna keep the whole deck. We'll talk about that in a second. So one thing I forgot, and this is totally unfair to cloud wheels. I completely forgot about this. When you get new cloud wheels, first of all, you can see how clear they look, and when they get used, they get a lot darker and yellowy. But one thing that happens with cloud wheels, as they get worn in, they become more comfortable. They roll a lot smoother. They roll better. And I completely forgot about that. And after I rode the G3, I did my loop, and I was like, man, you know, it's a little bit rougher than I expected. And I got on the Zealot, smooth. It was like a baby's butt smooth. It was just like, wow, this is so smooth. And then it dawned on me, when you first get cloud wheels, they kind of have a break-in period. For the Zealot, when I did it, it was about 10 miles. For the G3, I'm already at about 9.5 miles, and they still feel brand new, which just makes me think that cloud wheels probably changed the formula a little bit, so they'll last longer. No big deal. I know they'll get better. 'Cause initial impression, they ride very similar. The G3 and the Zealot with cloud wheels, the cloud wheel feel is about the same. The grip was the same, the stability was the same, turning, hard braking, acceleration was all similar. The Zealot was definitely better at braking, without a doubt. But I don't think that's a fair comparison, because the Zealot is a belt drive board with different motors than the G3's hub motor. So I don't think that's really a fair comparison. Everything else, though, I mean, I was so happy with what cloud wheels was able to achieve on a G3 with cloud wheels. I mean, it just completely transformed the board. So should you buy one or the other? That's completely up to you. If it's a money thing, if it's a financial thing, well, yeah, get the G3, without a doubt. If it's gonna hurt you to spend the money to buy a Zealot, buy a G3. You will not be disappointed. You will love it. Which one is my favorite? I think it was pretty clear to me in my head. The Zealot. The Zealot is my favorite. The Zealot is gonna go on my trip with me to the East Coast. How are we gonna get there? The battery is gonna be shipped. We're not gonna try to sneak the airplane past TSA. I don't even want to take the chance of getting the battery confiscated, so I'm gonna ship the battery. I'm actually gonna ship it tomorrow. We're gonna put the G3 Plus battery on the Zealot. We're gonna put the composite deck on the Zealot, so look forward to all that. So back to the comparison, G3 or Zealot. G3, amazing job, great job. Cloud wheels completely transformed the board, makes it ride really, really nice. I've always said the G3 has too much flex in the deck. I like it, but I think it has too much. My feet were fatigued on the G3. On the Zealot, my feet were much more comfortable. Just rolling over everything. It's the Zealot deck. This one flexes less. Now I've ridden the new composite deck. Last October when I was in Atlanta, I got to ride the Zealot with the composite deck, and that's different altogether. That's a completely different feel. Also, I don't know why this Zealot and this G3 have different flex levels. I bought this one in March of last year, and I bought this one in June of last year. So per Backfire, they have the same bamboo makeup. But I'm going to tell you, without a doubt, if you watch my videos, watch this video actually, and you'll see how much flex is in the G3 versus the Zealot. And it's not just me saying it and how I feel. You can see it. The G3 looks like it's bowed in the middle, and the Zealot looks pretty flat when I'm riding it. And I'm 205 pounds, so there's a definite difference in the flex of the deck. If you're worried about connecting batteries back and forth, they're plug and play. There's no issue with connecting the batteries. You can put a G3, G3 Plus, Zealot battery, are all interchangeable with these boards. Nothing to worry about there. You can also connect two batteries if you really want to. I think that's something I'm looking into. I'm more looking into how to do it, not physically how to do it. What's my layout, how I'm going to do it. I'm not a fan of putting the other battery on the top of the deck between your feet. I've seen people do that, but aesthetically I don't like the look. I don't think there's enough space between the ESC and the current battery, but I have some ideas, so we'll do that in the future. In any case, I think that's all I got. One more thing I wanted to say before I forget. On the remote on the Zealot, you have an option to change it to 105 wheels. On the G3, you don't. I don't know if Backfire is going to come out with something to be able to do that, or if just getting a different remote will help. But I think that is probably part of the problem with the torque. I think the ESC doesn't know that you have 105 wheels, so it can't deliver the extra torque. And also, when I looked at my trip on the remote when I was done, it said 6.8 miles, I believe. And I looked at the app, that I used the Relive app both times, and both times it gave me the exact same route, and it said 7.4. And the Zealot remote said 7.4. And I think that's also a result of the remote not being able to identify that it has 105 wheels on there. I forgot what the first one was. Actually, it was something else, 88, 96, and 165, which makes me think this is the same remote that they're using on the Ranger X1 or X2. But I didn't have a 105 option on the G3 remote. On the Zealot remote, I do have a 105 option. So that's one thing to look at. Oh yeah, one more again. No, just kidding. One more thing before I forget. Let me stop that. GoPro, stop recording.